Alright, Travis Wayne Goodsell. For those of you, which are most of you according to YouTube's analytics, coming to this video for the first time, I am suing the LDS Church. I've already filed a civil federal lawsuit with the Utah courts, and there's a whole bunch of what's the best word to use? All hell broke loose because my case is solid enough to destroy the church once and for all. We got capital crimes in my case, and because of the crimes, the escalation of crimes by the defendant, the Corporation of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the corporation of the president, I'm forced to file civilly rather than have a federal prosecutor take the case and file criminal charges, capital charges. But the law is requiring them to do so, but because of the compromised position of everyone to the defendant, the church is able to protect themselves with a shield of government protection. And so, such is the case with my lawsuit, civilly. The judge had been terminated, but yet she was still assigned to my case. And so she's not going to be able to handle the case because she's going to be leaving soon. And so she's refusing to reply to anything. And thus time is being wasted because Judge Waddups assigned Judge First to the case. So I sent a letter to Judge Waddups, and I'm going to read that for you so that you will know the step-by-step details of my case, because I put in my complaint that this needs to be public for my protection. If you've been paying attention to the federal courts, in the Stone case, for example, they don't allow cameras in. They do allow exceptions for that, and I put in my complaint that I would be filing that motion to have cameras at my trial against the church for my protection, among other reasons. But I can't get the judge to respond, and so I'm now going to her boss, who's overseeing the whole case, Judge Waddups. Now, Judge Waddups is Mormon. I don't know if Judge First is, but she was fired because she allowed a case against the church to go through. And I pointed that out in my motion for recusal, but again, she's not responding to that either. She's refusing to recuse herself from the case because she's been terminated, and she's refusing to allow the case to proceed, as she got fired for allowing such a case to proceed previously. So that's the conflict I'm in. My case is a slam dunk. I've got the evidence, and I got more evidence because of the delay caused by Judge First, as I caught the church trying to cover up their guilt. So let me read the letter to you. If my understanding of court process is correct, Your Honor assigned Judge First to my case, as the dockets show Your Honor signing the order referring case. Your Honor would also know... I sent it. Did a couple edits, but missed it. Your Honor would I got it right. Your Honor would have also known at that time, as I did not find out until months later, that Judge First had been terminated, and that caseloads were being given to other judges. Gaddy versus COP, was given to another judge. In my church service mission to New York, New York, in 1989 to 1991. Do you see what I'm doing here? He's Mormon. I'm letting him know I'm Mormon. I'm letting him know I'm Mormon. See what I'm doing here? We would refer to Judge First's inaction in my case as being trunky. Judge First is refusing to order service of process at the 120-day deadline, as the 120-day deadline of 24 March 2020 is just a month away from her last day as magistrate judge. The defense counsel gets 30 days after being served to respond. And then I get 2 weeks to respond to the response. So you can see, Judge First is no longer going to be employed to continue with the case. Judge First is refusing to recuse herself from my case, as she is neglecting to respond to that motion as well. And during this delay tactic, the defendant is taking advantage to attempt to cover up their guilt, as I brought up in my motion for recusal. Civil court procedures do not discuss what to do in case of judicial contempt of their own court. U.S. Code 1691. Scope of prohibition. In this law, creditors are not to discriminate against persons receiving government benefits. I draw your Honor's attention to my filing and approval for in forma pauperis. The defendant caused... The damage caused to me by the defendant resulted in United States protections under the law, as my main source of income is from government benefits. Judge First is not only in contempt of her own court, but is also demonstrating criminal negligence to favor and protect the defendant as a United States federal magistrate judge. She's going to screw with me. She ain't going to go into private practice. I'm going to make sure she's burned. I cannot bring a petition for redress of grievances in accordance with my First Amendment rights while receiving government benefits if Judge First refuses to order service of process. I have exhausted all other resources to petition, but because of the defendant, everyone in Utah is compromised by the defendant. I request that Your Honor reassign my case, and reassign my case to a judge who is not compromised by the defendant. See how I left that general? Because it also applies to him. My motion for recusal involved him also. And so I'm giving him the opportunity to do the right thing and assign my case to a judge who is not compromised by the church. And I don't know if there is one in Utah in the federal courts. It may have to be assigned outside of the Utah district courts. But we'll see. Too much time has been wasted already to protect and defend the defendant. Alrighty, so he'll show up to work on Monday most likely, and his clerks will bring this to his attention, and we'll see from there what has to be done. Because I pointed out I can't find anything in the civil court procedures as to what to do now. I've done all that I knew to do, and if there's some motion or some other thing that's not listed that I'm supposed to do, I need instruction as to what to do now. But all that's needed is an order for service of process, although he could give the order for concluding the case, as I have argued, because the judges are in clear criminal violation protecting the church. That's established fact. So, okay. Alrighty. So, and interesting, I found out about that law code because of a certain creditor who knew of my situation and are not wanting to cooperate. So yeah, I'm already protected against them when they come after me. So I might get a double whammy if I can get both this other major company in the world and the church as well. So stay tuned.